Let's reinstate your registry. You're first. You start with your registry.
Read the registry.
Takamas ban Yahweh ban Yashalah.
Takamas ban Yahweh ban Yashala.
Yahweh ba Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. It's not lit yet. You got the light on.
La Yashala.
La Yashala.
I have to turn it over. Go ahead and call it.
Amijam, which means stand. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew.
Sar.
Sar, Wapan Hakwada, which means turn and face the east.
Your mic is behind you.
Come on, come on. Abanawa,
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash,
Kodash.
Haya,
Haya.
Shemka,
Shamka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Malathwaka,
Malakwaka.
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah.
Ratazaka,
Ratazaka.
Haya,
Haya.
Aisha,
Aisha.
Barataza,
Barataza.
Kuwa,
Kawa.
Haya,
Haya.
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim.
Natanlanawa,
Datalanawa.
Lacham,
Lacham.
Kal,
Kal.
Yawam,
Yawam.
Wasalak Nawa,
Wasalaklanawa.
Kabawat Nawa,
Kabawath nawa.
Kasalak Nawa,
Kasalach nawa.
Kabawat Yanawa,
Kabawath yanawa.
Wala'a,
Wala'a.
Tabaya'a Nawa,
Tabi'ai nawa.
Banasaya Wan,
Banasaya one.
Abal,
Abal.
Hawashai Nawa,
Hawashai nawa.
Mayan,
Mayan.
Rai,
Rai.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Laka,
Laka.
Hamalakwa,
Hamalakwa.
Wahala,
Wahala.
Wahata Paura,
Wataparath.
La Awalamyam,
Laiwalamyam.
Aman.
Aman. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
So be it. This is the Hakak power prayer in Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Hashem Yahushai,
Babakasha,
Babakusha,
Natanla Nawa,
Datalanawa,
Hakak,
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 Lord Pa'ah,
Harpa'ah,
Kal Makala,
Kal Makala,
Wakal Marawa,
Kal Marawa,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Latahar,
Latahar,
Ha Matazarium,
Hamatazarayim,
Salakia, Ha Matazarium,
Hamatazarayim,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Lahaquium,
Lahaquium,
Hamathium,
Hamathium,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Al Wakarwath,
Awakawath,
Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Lagarshan,
Lagarashan,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
the Waraman.
Wadaba. And in English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power,
Please give us the
power to heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness,
all manner of disease,
all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
power to cleanse the leper,
the power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out,
to cast them out
in the name of Yahushai.
in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is the blessed Salakia. This is the blessed Israel prayer in Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Barak Lanawa,
Barak Lanawa,
Wa Yashra Allah,
Wa Yashar Allah,
Waha Bayat Saparium,
Waha Bayasaparium,
Barak
Barak,
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
Ba'ashem
the
Yahushai,
Wada Aman.
the Wada Aman. What we just said was, Lord,
Lord,
in the name of Yahushai,
name of Yahushua,
Bless us
Bless us
and Israel
and Israel
and the school.
and the school.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai.
name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is the Psalms 121 prayer in Hebrew. Aisha,
Asha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al-Aharium,
Ahaharium,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Izaria,
Isaiah,
Izaria,
Isaiah,
Ma'aim,
Ma'aim,
Gahawa,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Asha,
Shamayam,
Shamayah,
Wa'arataza,
Wa'aratza,
Al-Yatan,
Al-Yathan,
Lamawat,
Mama Wat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Al-Yanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yayashun,
Yayashan,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yashra'ala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Zalka,
Al-Yad,
Al-Yad,
Yamyanka,
Yanyanka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'a, Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
by Layala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Shamarka,
Makal Rai,
Kalrai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Ath Napashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Tazaatka,
Tazaatka,
Wa Ya'aka,
Wabawaaka,
Ma'ayata,
Maita,
Wa'aid,
Wa'aid,
Awalam.
I will love. In the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Yasharallah
that keepeth Yasha'Allah
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade
Yahweh is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time
from
forth
this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. This is the Psalms 83 prayer in Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Damayalaka,
At-Takarash,
Al-Takarash,
Wa'al,
Wa'al,
Tashakwat,
Tashakwat,
Al,
Al,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayabyaka,
Awayabyaka,
Yahamarwan,
Yahamawan,
Wama Shanayaka,
Wamashanayaka,
Nasha'awa,
Nasha'awa,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Amaka,
A'imaka,
Yarayamwa,
Yarayamwa,
Sawad,
Sawad,
Wayata, Salakia, Wayata, Ya'aitazawa,
Wayatha Ya'itazawa,
Al-Tapasawanyaka,
Al-Tazakawanyaka,
Hamarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakyadam,
Wanakakidum,
Magalya,
Magalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum Yasra'ala,
Sham Yasharallah,
Iwad,
Iwad,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa'aitazawa,
Nawa'itazawa,
Lab,
Lab,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Al-Yaka,
Al-Yaka,
Baryathya,
Baryath,
Salakia, Baryath,
Baryath,
Ya Karathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahalya,
Ahalia,
Al the Salakia,
Alawam,
the Wum,
Alawam,
Wa Yashma Alyum,
Wayashama Aliyam,
Ma Wa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagaryum,
Wahagaryam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa Amawan,
Wa'amawan,
Wa Amalak,
Wa'amalak,
Palashat,
Palashat,
I'm Yashabia,
I'm Yeshabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum Ashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Laban Yalawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha Laham,
Aisha Laham,
Kamadyan, Kaslakia, Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya Sara'a,
Kasiya Sarah,
Kayabian,
Kayabyan,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Kwayashwan,
Kwayashwan,
Na Shamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan Dara'a,
Ba'ayanda Ara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La Arama,
Arama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Salakia, Na Dayab Mawa,
Nadayamawa,
Ka Irab,
Kairab,
Wakazaba,
Wakazaba,
Salaki wakaza aba.
Wakaza Abba.
Wakazabak.
Wakaza Bak.
Wakal taz Salakia. Wakatazalmanai.
Wakata Zalmanai.
Kal.
Kau.
Nasaya Kamwa.
Nasaya Kumwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Na Yarasha.
Naya Rasha.
La Nawa.
Lanawa.
Ath.
Ah.
Na Awath.
Na'awa.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
La Panya.
Lapanya.
Racha.
Racha.
Kaash.
Kaash.
Ta Ba'ira.
Tabaira.
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira.
Waka Lahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Tahalat.
Talahat.
Haryam.
Haryam.
Kan.
Khan.
Daratma.
Kantardatma.
Basaira ka.
Basa Iraka.
Basa Wapathka.
Basa Wapathka.
Tha Bahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'ah.
Mala'ah.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Yabakwashwa.
Shumka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wa Yabahawa.
Wayabahalwa.
It's like a Adya.
Ajaid.
It's like Adyaid.
Ajaid.
Wa Yakaparwa.
Wayabaparwa.
Wa Yahabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wa Yadaiwa.
Wayadaiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Ata.
Shumka.
Shamka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Badka.
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan.
Al.
Al.
Kal.
Kal.
Ha Rataza.
Harataza. Psalm 83 in English. Keep not thou silence.
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace,
And be not still.
and be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a
thine
tumult,
enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate
and
thee
they that hate thee
have lifted up the
have
head.
lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come
come,
and let us cut them off
let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Yasha
That the
Allah
name of Yasha Allah
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are
thee,
confederate against thee,
the tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab, and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of
with the
Tyre.
inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur also was joined with them.
Ashur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children
They
of
have
Lot.
hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kaisan,
at the brook of Kaisan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the
They
earth.
became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
Make their nobles
like Oreb
like Oreb,
and like Zeeb.
like Zeeb.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as
all
Zabah
the princes Zabah
and as
and
Zalmunna,
as Zalmunna,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in
the
possession.
house of God into possession.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth they wood,
as the fire burneth they wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on
and as the
fire.
flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them
and
afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that
that
thou,
thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. This is the blessings prayer, the Isupk blessings prayer in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
wa Yahweh Shai,
wa Yahweh Shai,
wa Mayaka Allah,
wa Mayaka Allah,
wa Alahayim,
wa Alahayim,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana,
Ha Alawapyam,
Ha Alawapyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Ha Saranyam,
Katazal Yanyam,
Ha Kwatazayanyam,
Ha Kayal Yalyam,
Ha Kayayalyam,
wa Ha Akwatyan,
wa Ha Akwathian,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashim Yahushai,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai,
the Wada Aman.
the Waraman. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahushai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yohana,
commanding General Yohana,
the generals,
the generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters,
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in
Shai,
the name of Yahushai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it.
With that, Sar, blow the horn. Shabia, which means to sit. Go ahead and clap it up, man. It's another week, man. Another week you survived. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yashai Brakathum, Yahweh Shemar Alathan Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is the Isupk. It started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, in 1969. We are under commanding General Yohana, and we're here to teach the truth of the Bible. For so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, their real true culture and identity according to the scriptures. It's like it is a Sabbath service, and so we'll be continuing where we left off. We was in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter, what was it? Let's see. I think it was like chapter 4. The history of our nation is definitely much exactly relevant to what's going on even today, man. We left off. We're gonna be picking up in Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 45. Appreciate Carl. I want you to make sure to keep intact as far as keeping up with 7 scriptures at a time. All right. Exactly 7 scriptures at a time. We're gonna read 7 at a time, and we're gonna continue to understand more about our real history, because when you read the scriptures, it's directly talking about what we know today as Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. People find that very strange when we say those specific ethnicities when we talk about the children of Israel, because the whole world has been fooled to believe that the name of Israel is no more in remembrance among men. We just got through reading Psalm chapter 83 about a confederacy of nations who made it a point to hide the truth. And that confederacy includes the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, just like how we read in the verse in chapter 83 in Psalm 83. And so what you actually need to understand, Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, is that we call you Israel because that's who you really are. And we're calling out to the spirits of those who were meant to awaken in this time, because there is no denying that the world is in turmoil right now, and that the Most High's spirit is moving across this globe and is affecting everything that you're seeing going on in the news. My heart is constantly thinking about the brothers and sisters that are suffering from the earthquakes in Venezuela, some of the worst earthquakes over the past 100 years, where hundreds, if not thousands of people have been displaced from their homes. Families have been broken apart. You understand, much destruction has been taking place. And in the middle of all this, we have to understand that the Most High, this is all according to what his will is. Even if it's bad, even if it's good, the things that are happening across the globe are signs for us to keep in mind, because even as Christ said that before his return, there would be earthquakes in diverse places. And so it's important for us to put our fear in the Most High and to respect him, to come back into his laws. You have to understand that the destruction and the bad events that take place amongst our people should only bring us closer to the Lord in wanting to serve him and wanting to fear him and wanting to show respect for the culture that he gave us. But a lot of us live in ignorance. A lot of our people live in darkness, and when darkness overcomes them, they don't understand why it's happening to them. And that's why it's important for us to be that example and to go into these records and to show who we really are, and to change the hearts and minds of the nation of Israel from the very, very source of their faith, you understand, and showing them the root cause of why their life is the way that they live it, and why things turn out the way that they do, and that there is a better way. And the better way is for us to return to the Lord in the true culture that God gave us, not as Catholics, not as Baptists, not as slaves in America, not slaves to the English language, not slaves to the Spanish language, but servants unto the Lord, unto the holy tongue that he gave us. And of course, we're speaking to you in a slave language because we have been in captivity for hundreds of years at this point. But that captivity is getting ready to come to an end. And Israel is a nation that will be rebuilt on the globe, that will be the sole superpower. And it's not going to be the people that are in that land today. It's going to be the people that God is sifting from among the other nations and awakening in a time that has become more and more dire as the days go by, which is more to discuss. We got plenty of things to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get into the scriptures and start in the Hebrew. We can go ahead and tell them where you're at, Baba Kushah. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 45.
Verse 45. Verse 45. Right. No, you're phone is different.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. What it's doing.
Let me see it real quick.
You got it.
They don't
Like the numbers.
the number. It's crazy.
They
There we
last.
go. I got it. Verse 45.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 45.
Allah
Allah,
ha'aidath
Hayadat,
wahaqaqwayam
Waha, Ka,
qaqwayam
Koyam,
wahamashapatyam
Waha, Ma, Patim,
ashar
Ashar,
the bar
the boy,
mashah
Mashah,
al
Al,
banya
Banya,
yashwa'ala
Yashal,
bataza'atam
Basa'atam,
bataza'atam
Basa'atam,
mama tazarayim
Mama, Tazarayim.
verse 46
Verse 46.
ba'abar
Ba'abar,
hayaradan
Hayawadam,
done
Wahayawadan,
bagaya
Baga,
bagaya'a
Bagaya,
mawal
Bawal,
bayath
Bayat,
pa'ayar
Payayar,
pa'aywar
Payawar,
ba'aratza
Barataza,
sayakhan
Shayahan,
malak
Malak,
maria
Hamaria,
ashar
Ashar,
yawashab
Yawashab,
bachashabawan
Bahashawan, Baha,
Bawan.
Baha,
The
Shaw,
ka, like you're about to spit a loogie.
oh, Baha, Ka,
Bakashabawan.
Baha, Ka, Shawan,
There you go. Ashar.
Ashar,
Haka.
Aka,
Masha.
Masha,
Wabanya.
Mabaya,
Yashwa'ala.
Yashal,
Bataza'atam.
Masha, Masha, Tai,
Bataza.
Batasa,
Atam.
Atom,
Mamatazarayim.
Mama Tazarayim,
Verse 47.
verse 47.
Waya Yarashawa.
Waya, Yashawa, Yasha, Ira,
At.
At,
Aratazawa.
Aratazawa,
Wa'at.
Wa'at,
Arataza.
Arataza,
Iwab.
Awad,
Malak.
Malak,
Habashawa.
Habashawa,
Habashan.
Habashan,
Shanaya.
Shania,
Malakaya.
Malakaya,
Ha'ai. Slakin. Maria.
Ha, Maria,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Ba'ai bar.
Baba,
Ha. Radan.
Haradan,
It's like Ha Yaradan.
Hayavadan,
Mazarach.
Masarak,
Shamash.
Amas,
Verse 48.
verse 48.
Ma'ai Yar. Ire. Ma'ir. Slakia. Ma'ai Ra. Ire.
Ma'ai, Raya,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Al.
Al,
Shapat.
Shapat,
Shapath.
Shapath,
Nakal.
Nakal,
Aranan.
Aranan,
Wa'ai.
Ra'ad,
Har.
Har,
Shaya. Shaya'an.
Shayan, Shayan, Shayan,
Hawa'a.
Hawa'a,
Kaira Mawan.
Hahawa Mayan.
Verse 49.
Verse 49.
Wakal.
Wakal.
Ha'irabah.
Araba.
Ibar.
Abar.
Hayaradan.
Hayaradan.
Mazaraha.
Masaraha.
Wa'ai.
Ra'ad.
Yam.
Yum.
Ha'irabah.
Arabam.
Takat.
Takat.
Asharadath.
Asharadat.
Hapasaga. It's like a Hapasaga.
Hapasaga.
Deuteronomy 5, verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 1.
Waya Kara'a.
Raya Raya.
Asha.
Asha.
Al.
All.
Call.
Call.
Yashra'ala.
Yashala.
Waya Amar.
Waya Amar.
Alaham.
Alaham.
Shemai.
Shemai.
Yashra'ala.
Yashala.
Ad.
At.
Hachaw Kwayam.
Haya Kwayam.
Wa'at.
Waat.
Hamashap. Tatyam.
Hamashapatni.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Anakaya.
Anakaya.
Debar.
Debar.
Ba'izanayakam.
Ba'ai.
Zanayakam.
Zanayakam.
Hayawam.
Hayarum.
Walamadat. Select. Walamadatyam.
Walamatatyam.
Atam.
Atam.
Washamaratam.
Vaishamaratam.
La'aishatam.
Naashatam.
Verse 2.
Verse 2.
Yakawa.
Yahweh.
Alahayanawa.
Ayahalinawa.
Karat.
Karat.
Aimanawa.
Amanawa.
Barat.
Barat.
Bakarab.
Bakarab.
Go ahead and read that in English.
Verse 4 and 45. Chapter 4, verse 45. No, read it in the sword. See it right here. That way you don't be switching back and forth.
Yeah, go ahead and use the scriptures for that. Shalom in Christ. So what was good up until this point, Deuteronomy chapter 1 through 4 has been going over more of those laws, and even specifically some of the outlines of the borders of Israel and places that our tribes are supposed to inherit. And so that's where we're at right now in the scriptures. And now we're going to read more about what's going on around the time. And mind you, Moses is setting the children of Israel up for the kingdom, even if he's not going to make it there himself. It just goes to show just how important it is to be a leader, because all of the fault will go on you if you're not a good leader. And so you have to step into that role with the understanding that you have to really strive to be perfect in that sense, because there's so much responsibility on the line, so many souls that are under your wing that you are responsible for. And that's why you have to take every bit of your office seriously. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 45. These are the testimonies and the statutes and judgments which Moses spake unto the children of Israel after they came forth out of Egypt. On this side of Jordan, in the valley, over against Beth Peor, in the land of Sihon, the king of the Amorites. Who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moses and the children of Israel smote after they were come forth out of Egypt. And they possessed his land, in the land of Og, king of Bashan, 2 kings of the Amorites, which are on this side of Jordan toward the sun rising.
Keep going.
From Aor, which is by the bank of the river Anan, even unto the Mount Sion, which is in Hermon.
Mm-hmm. And one thing about this, go ahead and read that last verse. Go ahead.
And in the plain of the side of Jordan eastward, even unto the sea of the plain under the springs of Pisgah.
And this is what Israel is, a nation that has that was to conquest the entire Middle East. You know, Black and Hispanics, Native Americans, they're known to be very adept at fighting, very adept at warfare, of overcoming enemies and to taking ground from other nations and other cultures. And the Most High gave us those abilities for a righteous reason. Not for us to kill each other, not for us to take out each other in the hoods that we're stuck in the barrios, not for us to be squabbling against each other over rap beefs and all these different petty things that become an entertainment to the other nations, but should be the demise of the other nations because we're to be ruling over them. That's what the Bible says. If you don't agree with what the Bible says, I can't tell. I don't know what to tell you. Christians think that everything's all sunshine and rainbows. The Most High is clearly telling you right here that Israel was to destroy their altars, destroy their customs, to not marry themselves unto the other nations, to not take on their daughters unto our sons or give our daughters unto their sons, but to destroy their idols, to get rid of their heritage. Our people nowadays have been so far removed from our heritage that we take on their culture. It's so backwards now. Our women take on the culture of the other nation's daughters, copying the things that they do when they're supposed to be the righteous example for the other nations to see. If everybody always wants to argue about us about the Gentiles being saved and all these other things, well, guess what? It's not going to be the way they think salvation is. Their blessing is going to be seeing an example of a righteous nation that is going to give them a better influence.
Right.
Because their own influence unto themselves is giving them the absolute worst case on the planet. They have LGBT parades that are going across the globe right now. You understand? Even here in the city, we're probably about to see that today when we go out to camp.
Right. It's like,
And this is all. Go ahead.
if I may, that's a heavy point that you bring up. That right now the world is influenced by the devil, the white man, right? And the white man is a natural alternate lifestyler, right? Going back to his supposed birth of civilization. They're Greek fraternities that started way back then with Plato and Socrates or what have you. You know what I mean? They were practicing what was that term called?
Mentorship?
No, it's not mentorship. It's like pedophiliasty.
Yeah.
Where they were mentor like young boys, and they would sodomize them, and then they would just bring up their culture that way. That's why they're such natural alternate lifestylers, because they train up their young ones that way.
Let me take it one further, because it just came out. There was and again, the internet's the internet, so I don't even know what the heck is going on, whether stuff's AI, but there's an interesting thing right now. You heard about this Chud the Builder, right?
Right.
This racist white man that got thrown into prison for killing a black person, right? Well, it just came out that there was somebody that was a tranny, a cross-dresser, or alternative lifestyle human being that said that he slept with Chud the Builder. Yo. And this is their champion. This is your champion that you want to parade as the one that needs to be brought out of jail and to be freed. You understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, at the very same time, we seeing footage about the Carmelo Anthony incident, about just how innocent he was because they were clearly provoking him. But you know what? The internet's going to be the internet, and the world's they want to see what they want to see. And they'll sculpt anything to just fit their reality, or they'll follow somebody online that just agrees with what they want to believe. And so they just listen to that and only that. And that's the thing. That's the problem, because people are no longer caring about what's true. They just want to hear what feels good to them. And all that comes from Christianity and the nations and their heritages and all of the lies that have developed them to be the powers that they are.
Right.
Because it's not based on truth. So in reality, their power is fake.
Right.
But the truth in the children of Israel and the culture that we have, it comes from this time right here. We're reading about the time of Moses right now. Go ahead and go to the next chapter.
Moses chapter, Deuteronomy chapter 5.
You might as well call it Moses. Moses is all up in here. The book of Moses.
Moses chapter.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 1. And Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that you may learn them and keep and do them.
Keep going.
The Lord our God make a covenant with us in Horeb.
And remember, this is what we got to remember. The Most High made a covenant with the children of Israel through the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob. That is not something to just gloss over and completely forget about. Don't let anybody try to tell you that this is done away with, or, oh, that's the Old Testament. That doesn't matter anymore. The whole Bible is important. For you to understand the New Testament, you have to understand the Old Testament. For you to understand the Old Testament, you first need to understand that you've been lied to about it, and that it's actually talking about your ancestry, Israel. It's talking about your direct bloodline lineage. It's not some spiritual Israel. It's not something that everybody can be grafted into. No, it's literally talking about the heritage of your forefathers, and that's a big part of what has to be combated in today's society. We just got through talking about how people are so used to hearing what they want to hear and believing what they want to believe. And one of the things that they love to believe is that everybody can be saved and everybody's all coming together. But we see what happens when all these different nations and people and groups come together. It ain't nothing but chaos. It ain't nothing but confusion. And that's why you have alternative lifestyles running rampant in our communities when it doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel right. You understand? So we have to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments because his promise to us was the kingdom, was our inheritance, the land of Israel. But we have to hold up our end of the bargain. But the challenge right now is realizing that that is talking about you because you've been lied to and have been taught that you're somebody else, that you're not somebody that we're directly reading about in this book. And that's why when you read it in church, you're falling half asleep because you don't understand half of the terms being used. Because how many people hear the word Horeb and know what the heck that's talking about? Or let alone any of the tribes. I could say Asher or Naphtali, and people be like, huh? See, but that should be an everyday part of our vocabulary because those are our brothers. Those are our sisters. Those are the people of the tribes within the same nation of us. And when we actually can see that we're much more akin to each other than what the world is trying to show us, that's when we start to find our true strength. Because in unity, there is strength. In division, there's confusion and weakness. And that's how the devil gets us.
Right.
Go ahead and go back to the Hebrew. We're going to read another 7 verses.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 3.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 3.
La'ah,
La'ah,
At,
At,
Abath, Abath Yanawa,
Abatanaw,
Karat,
Karat,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
At,
At,
Abarayah,
Habarayat,
Haza, it's like a Haza'at,
Hazaat,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Athanawa,
Atanaw,
Anachanawa,
Anakanawa,
Allah,
Allah,
Pa,
Pa,
Hayawam,
Hayawam,
Kalanawa,
Kalanawa,
Hayayam,
Hakaya Yam.
verse 4,
Verse 4.
Panayam,
Panayam,
Apanayam,
Ba Payam,
Bar,
the bar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Amakam,
Hamakam,
Bahar,
Bahar,
Batawak,
Batarak,
Matawak,
Matarak,
Ha'ash,
Haash.
5,
Verse 5.
Anakaya,
Anakaya,
Ahmad,
Ahmad,
it's like Bayan,
Bayan,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Wabayanayakam,
Wabayanayakam,
Ba'ath,
Ba'at, Ba'ait,
Hahawa, it's like Hahawa'a,
Waya,
Lahagayad,
Lahai, Gayad,
Lakam,
Nakam,
Ad,
Ath,
Dabar,
Dabar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Yara'atham,
Yawa, Rai, Thum, Rathum,
Mapanaya,
Mapanaya,
Ha'ash,
Haash,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Ilayatham,
Ala Yathum,
Bahar,
Bahar,
La'amar.
La'amor.
Verse 6.
Verse 6,
Anakaya,
Anakaya,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Alahayah,
Allah,
Alahayak,
Alahayak,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Hawataza'ath,
Hawa,
Hayak,
Hawa,
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 Taza,
Teza,
Athayak,
Atayak,
Ma'arat,
Marataza,
Matazarium,
Matazarium,
Mabayath,
Mamayat,
Ibadayam.
Abayayam.
Verse 7.
Verse 7,
La'a,
La'a,
Yahaya,
Yahaya,
Lak,
Lak,
Alahayam,
Ayahai, Alahayam,
Acharayam,
Akayam, Vayam,
Al,
Al,
Panaya.
Panaya.
Verse 8.
Verse 8,
La'a,
La'a,
Ta'ai, Shah,
Tasha,
Lak,
Lak,
Pasal,
Pasor,
Call,
Call,
Tamawana,
Tamamanaya,
Tam, it's like Tamawana,
Tamanaya,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Bashamayam,
Bashamayam,
Mama'al,
Mamaal,
Ashar,
Washar,
Ba'aratza,
Baratza,
Matakath,
Manaka,
Ashar,
Washar,
Bamayam,
Bamayam,
Matakath,
Manaka,
La'aratza.
La Ratza.
Verse 9.
Verse 9,
La'a,
La,
Dashatachawath.
Das-
Slakia. Dashath Kawa,
Dashakawa,
Laham,
Laham,
Wala'a,
Wala,
Ta'aiba, Slakia. Ta'aibadam,
Tabadam,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Anashakaya,
Anashkaya,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Alahayak,
Alahayak,
Al,
Al,
Kwana,
Kwana,
Kwana'a,
Kwana,
Paquad,
Paquat,
Iwan,
Awan,
Abawath,
Abawat,
Al,
Al,
Banayam,
Banayam,
Wa'al,
Waal,
Shalashim,
Shalashim,
Wa'al,
Waal,
Rabbi, it's like Rabbi'ayim,
Wabayim,
Lashanaya, Lashanaya.
Lashanaya.
All right, go ahead and get that in English.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 3. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount out of the midst of the fire.
Keep going.
Still between the Lord and you at the time, to show you the word of the Lord, for you were afraid by reason of the fire.
You see how there was a mediator between the Lord and the children of Israel? Moses had to be that mediator because of the fury of the Lord is always on standby. You understand? So much so that even just Moses going to speak with the Lord, and in his return, his face was so bright from being in the presence of the Lord that he had to cover it, his face, because the people could have been hurt from it. That's why I said about people. It says, read that again, read verse 5 again.
I stood between the Lord and you at that time to show you the word of the Lord, for you were afraid by reason of fire and went not up in the mount, saying.
And you know what this also is telling you? It's also telling you that the Lord is not going to speak directly to you. He's very peculiar about who he chooses to give the word to, who he chooses to lead you to the word. You understand? That's exactly what Christ was in his time. That's what the prophets were in their time. That's what the prophets are in this time. It's the same thing. It's because there has to be a mediator that can give you that so that you can digest it in a way that doesn't overwhelm you. Because the truth is, the Bible, the words of the Bible are so, like the scripture says in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12, the word of the Most High is like a double-edged sword, because it cuts all the way down beyond the flesh into the spirit. And that's exactly what the word of the Most High does. And if you're not ready for that, it could overwhelm you. It could actually like physically make you not ready for your life that you're living right now. Because you wake up to the truth, you start realizing just how real the Bible is and how everything around you starts to look more fake, and everything around you starts to have a heaviness to it. And that's one of the reasons why the Most High has mediators, to help us get it in a way that's going to allow us to accept it in a reasonable sense. You understand? Just like how the scripture says you have to start off with milk before you can get to the point where you can digest the meat of the scriptures. We know that the law, statutes, and commandments is the foundation of us getting that understanding back, getting the favor of the Most High back. And that's so important because the Christian church tries to divert us from the law. It tries to give us an unobtainable example, because they try to say Christ is God, and that because he's God, that he was without sin, and that's something that we can never do. So we're all with sin. And so everyone just keeps on sinning rather than keeping the law. But really what Christ was a man that was born just like you and I. And the important thing about that is, even in the times before Christ, any of the prophets, any of the men that God was working with directly to be a mediator between him and the children of Israel, these were men that deserved that chance to be that leader. Whether they completely succeeded or not, it's written here for us to learn from. Not written here for us to see as an excuse so that we can continue to make the same mistakes that they did. We're supposed to learn from them. And so this is why it's important, because the presence of the Lord is something that you should fear. You should fear the Most High. You shouldn't assume that your pride of your life is, and your strength of your flesh is something that you can lean on. All of those things wither away as you get older. Everybody knows that. But one thing that won't wither away is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes from God's laws. And that's why he gives it to us, because that's something that can sustain us better than any job, better than any food, better than any pleasure of the flesh, better than anything that we could seek for in this life. So we have to keep that in mind, because it is our spirit that is eternal. Go ahead.
And the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, thou shalt have no other gods before me.
And this goes without saying. And this, I'm glad that it does this. I love that the scripture is repeating these things, because we need to be reminded about them, and we need to be refreshed on how it relates to today. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You know what that means? That means that you can't be a Christian because they celebrate Christmas and they have the Christmas tree, they have the Easter set up. So you have to be aware, you have to be careful for those days. You're not supposed to have another God before the Most High, meaning you shouldn't be celebrating Halloween. You shouldn't be, I don't know, you shouldn't be celebrating birthdays. That's a pagan custom. Officer Kabar taught a class about celebrating birthdays and how that's a pagan custom, because it's like as if you're putting yourself before the Most High, because you're making a day about yourself. You understand? That's a mistake. Another mistake is our people, they turn to every damn thing that's not the Bible. They'll turn to fortune cookies before they turn to the Most High's words. They'll turn to astrology and horoscopes and, oh, I guess I'm a bitch because I'm a Taurus or a Virgo or whatever. I don't even know what they be learning in that. You know what I mean? And they be consulting, like they really be into that stuff. Everything that just feels like it gives them power and strength, they're all about it. And they're so into these other cultures and these other images. And you know what? Read a little bit more, just a little bit more, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
I am the Lord thou God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath.
Go ahead.
Or that is in the waters beneath the earth.
Keep going.
Thou shalt not bow down themselves unto them.
What says what?
Thou shalt not bow down thyself.
So any graven image that is like anything that is in heaven above or on the earth beneath, you're not supposed to make that, let alone bow down to it. And what do you see going on across the whole globe? People are bowing down to objects like rocks. People are bowing down to statues that are in the Catholic Church. You go to a Catholic church, they actually have in the pews like something that rolls out for you to get on your knees, for every single person in the whole entire church to get on their knees so they could bow to whatever image is put up there. Any graven image is put up. They have one of Caesar Borgia, which is not even Christ. But you're not supposed to even create an image like that for you to bow down to. They bow down to the Mother Mary. That's something that is like it says, likeness of anything that is in the heaven above or in the earth beneath. That would be a woman. That would be a man. That would be a stone. Any of those things, God's telling you, they're breaking the commandment right from number 1 and 2. And you expect in the Christian church that you're going to have any chance of maintaining any of the 600 plus commandments in the Bible when you're starting off on the wrong foot from the second commandment, the first commandment? Stop, man. You have to rewire your whole entire mentality about what you understand about this book. You have to realize that maybe perhaps you've been lied to about what all these things is that you've learned since your youth. Because the scripture says that Christ was a mystery that was hidden for ages and generations, but is now made manifest to his saints. His saints would be the children of Israel. The mystery would be you not knowing that you're the children of Israel. The mystery would be you not knowing how to properly worship the Most High, because we have been assimilated and annexed by heathens to worship the way they worship their gods. And they superimpose the Bible over it and call it worship of the one true God, when really they're worshiping a trinity, polytheism, multiple gods. And then they mix in their pagan cultures with it, and they slap a Christianity on it, and they try to say that this is for everybody. That is not for you. If they want to do that, they can do that on their own terms, and it'll lead them into an endless pit. But it won't affect us anymore. We're not putting up with that no more. We're not letting that influence us anymore. We're beyond that. This is 2026. We've had over 2,000 years since the time of Christ to come back to this. And then now it's happening, because now is the third days where with the day we are awakening on the earth. Right. And Christ is gathering the first fruits for us to be removed from this place so that we can be brought to the Holy Land, so that we could be the children of the promise, of the inheritance, as we were always supposed to be. And you have to believe in that wholeheartedly, because you have to understand that you'll be stronger in that belief because of the words that we're reading right here. Go ahead and read verse 9. I think that was, yeah.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, until the third and fourth generation, them that hate me.
And your mistakes have lingering effects on the generations that come after you. You ever heard of the term generational curses? This is literally talking about that right there. But to do you one further, it's actually talking about yourself too, because our people get regenerated within the same family lineage. So the generation 3 and 4 generations later very well could be you coming back and having to deal with the mistakes that you made from before. This may be above some people's pay grade, but I'm just telling you, this is just me giving you a hint of the power of the words of the Most High, because it gives you such an understanding that it really helps you lock into how important it is for you to get this life right now. That's why it says, and I will visit the iniquity of the fathers unto the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And our people prove that they hate God because they don't want to follow his laws. They want to do what they want to do. They want to have a hot girl summer. They want to have abortions. The men want to deal drugs. They want to shoot each other in the streets. They want to try and go and live like the Edomites. They want to go and fight in his armies instead of fighting in the Lord's army, instead of following after your own culture. What you've done is you've given yourself to the world and you've whoredomed yourself to the world. That's the state of affairs of Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans right now. And it's disgusting in the eyes of the Most High. And so because of that, he's visiting your iniquity generations after you. That's why you're raised in the poverty that you have. That's why you're dealing with the suffering and the health problems and everything that you have right now, because there's much reversal that's required of you. There's much repentance that is required within your entire lineage. And it all falls on you to spearhead that change. Go ahead.
So, like you, sir, this is where generational curses come from. You know, like you're saying, we don't inherit anything from our parents other than what, diabetes and debt, right? Because we, like you said, we prove to the Lord that we hate him by breaking his law, statutes, commandments throughout our generations. This is where it stops, right here. As soon as you enter these doors of the Isupk, this is where it stops. This is where your children become the actual future. This is where it stops, because now you come in here, you have children here, you raise them up the right way. You raise them up according to the way that the Lord wants you to raise up your children.
That's right. Go ahead and go back to the Hebrew. We're on verse, 10? Yeah, 10.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 10. Wa'asha.
Assad. La'ayla Payam.
La'ayla Payam. La'ayla Payam.
Salagil La'alapiam.
La'alapiam.
La'ahabaya.
La'ahabaya.
Wala Shamaraya. Matazawa.
Tawa. Matazawatium. Verse 11. La'a. Tasha'a. At. Sham. Yahweh. Alahayak. Lashamaya. Lashawa'a. Kaya. La'a. Yanakwa. Yahweh. At. Ashar. Yasha'a. At. Shemawa. Lashawa'a. Verse 12. Shamawar. At. Yawam. Hashabat.
Lakadashwa.
Ka'ashar.
Tazawak.
Yahweh.
Alahayak.
Alayahayak.
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Shashat
Chishath.
Yamayam.
Yamayam.
The Ibad.
Abad.
Wa I Shayath.
Ra'ai Shayath.
Call.
Ka.
Mala'ah Kathak.
Wala Mala Dayak.
Verse 14.
Verse 14.
Waya Wam.
Waya Wam.
Hashabat. It's like Hashaba Ya Ayam.
Hasbay Ayan.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
La Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Al Hayak.
Allah Yak.
La'ah.
La'a.
The Aisha.
Ta'asha.
Call.
Ka.
Mala'aka.
Malaka.
Atha.
Ata.
Wabanayak.
Wabana Yak.
Wabanyak. Wabana. Wabanak.
Wabanak.
Wabatak.
Wabatat.
Wa'ai Padak.
Wa'abadak.
Wa'ai Matak.
Wa'amatak.
Washa Rak.
Washawarak.
Wahama Rak.
Wahama.
Waka
Maka.
Marak.
Marak.
It's like it as Wakamark.
Wakamak.
Wakal.
Wakal.
Baha Matak.
Bahamatak.
Wagarak.
Wadawak.
Ashar.
Ashur.
Basha'ai Yak.
Ba'ashara. Yak.
Lamain.
Naman.
Yawanak.
Yamanak.
Ibadak.
Abadak.
Wa'ai Matak.
Wamadak.
Kamawak.
Kamawak.
Is this the last one, sir?
Verse 16 was the last.
Oh, it's like verse 15.
Verse 15.
What was Karath?
Was Karach.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Ibad.
Abad.
Haya. Yath.
Hawayat.
Ba'aratza.
Baratza.
Mataza Raya.
Matazarayim.
Wayataza Ak.
Wayatazayak.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Alahayak.
Alahayak.
Asham.
Masham.
Bayad.
Bayad.
Kazakwa.
Hazakwa.
Waba Zarai.
Wabazarai.
Natawa Ya.
Natawaya.
Al.
Ah.
Khan.
Khan.
Tazawak.
Tazawak.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Alahayak.
Alahayak.
La Aishawat.
Ya La'ai Sharat.
At.
At.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Hashabat.
Hashabat.
Verse 16.
Verse 16.
Kabad.
Kabad.
At.
At.
Abayak.
Abayak.
Wa'at.
Wa'at.
Amak.
Amak.
Ka'ashar.
Kashar.
Tazawak.
Tazawak.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Alahayak.
Alahayak.
Lama'ain.
Lamaan.
Ya'arayakan.
Yahweh. Yakun.
Kan.
Kun.
Yamayak.
Yamayak.
Waya Salakyo. Wala ma'ain.
Wayla.
Wala ma'ain.
Wala Mayan. Mayan.
Yayatab.
Yawitub.
Lak.
Lak.
Al.
Al.
Like Adama. Ha Adama.
Had. Adama.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Alahayak.
Alahayak.
Natan.
Natan.
Lak.
Lak.
All right, go ahead and get that in the English. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 10. And show mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
You see, you got to understand just how heavy that is. The Most High shows mercy unto those that put in that effort. Just like any good relationship. Any good relationship is going to require effort from both sides. You know, he's doing a little bit there when he's showing mercy. That's him holding on his side of the bargain because he knows that us being in this flesh, that there's going to be times you can be challenged in your mind. That's where the battle begins. It begins in your mind. That's why these laws are here to remind you. That's what remind means. Is to put it back in your mind, because what happens is the thoughts that come in, they go against what the Most High told you. So when you read the Most High's words, you can then be reinforced with the correct choice. And you got to make the decision to choose the right choice. And that choice will earn you mercy from the Lord. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
This is also important because so many people will say that they swear to God this and they pray, on God that, on my mama. They put on everything. That's what our people just put everything on anything. On my life, always trying to like hype up their zeal for something. Well, really, all you got to do is what shows the Most High is your actions, not what you say. You understand? So you don't take the Most High's name in vain. Meaning, don't be about something and not follow through with it. Don't say that you're about something and then not hold your end of the bargain to it. You can't really call yourself a man or a real woman if you're not the kind of person that holds on to what you say you're going to do. And that's why you can't hold the Most High's name in vain. You can't claim that you're righteous and then go and live a sinful lifestyle. You can't pray over a meal that has abominations in it. You can't pray to the Most High while worshiping and living a alternative lifestyle. Are you kidding me? See, people get so blind in the world, they believe they can just do what they want without any repercussions. The Most High is clearly telling you not to try to put his name on your filth. But his name was there to help you remove that filth from you, not for you to hide behind it.
Right.
Not for you to come up with excuses so that you could do what you want. Because the whole reason why you're in this flesh, in this life, is not so that you could do whatever you want. I don't know if you've realized that yet. But I don't know how many times the Most High has to smack you back down and then pick you back up to give you another chance with his mercy to give you another chance to prove otherwise. Because really what it is our people are so gullible to all the influences around them that no longer is the Most High your priority. But you were raised from a child to not let the Most High become your priority. So you have to be forged into that mentality. That takes time. That takes a lot of effort. The Most High is going to give you effort in return by you giving effort to him. Go ahead.
Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord God have commanded thee.
See, just you being here right now is you keeping one of these laws, is you earning mercy from the Lord. It says keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, to not be unclean when you're in the tabernacle. That requires sacrifice.
Right.
That right there, let's see, because Friday night be one of the most lustful nights of the week for the people in the world.
Right.
But people that are in the truth, they're like, nah, this is the beginning of the Sabbath. Sundown Friday, got Sabbath service tomorrow. We got camp. I can't get unclean. I can't be with the rib. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have control over your flesh. Your mind is still gonna throw scenarios at you. Yeah, that's gonna happen. You'll get temptations. But the law is there to give you the power to override the thoughts so that you can have true control over what you do. And that's the type of free will that the Most High really wants you to have. Though he may know the decisions you're going to make, though he be the God of knowing everything, that knows all things. Like the Christians always say, they say that God knows everything you're going to do, so how could there be free will? Well, he knows what you're going to do, but you're still the one that makes the decision to do it. So you have to decide. But another part of you making the right choice and deciding right is seeing his words. And it takes sacrifice just to see those words, because you got to get up, you got to come to class. Hell, even if you're not even in the class physically, if you're unable to come to class for whatever reason, you still tuning in online shows efforts. You understand? You still making it a point to hear the word of the Most High. That is worthy of note. The angels record that. They report to the Lord about that. They talk about you. They say you are one that is worthy of mercy when you keep the Sabbath, when you keep God's laws. So don't slip away from them. Don't let other things creep in and try to pull you away from it. It should, if anything, all of these things should be reinforcing just how much more you got to do to earn the Lord's favor, rather than to just live off of somebody else's name and try to claim glory and righteousness because of what someone else did. Every man's supposed to work his own salvation with fear and trembling. And right now, our people are not trembling enough. So the Most High constantly has to remind us that we need to be trembling. Trembling for the brothers and sisters in Venezuela. Trembling for the brothers that get thrown in prisons unjustly. Trembling for all of them. And we feel that even when that's not our situation, because we love our people. Go ahead.
Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it as the Lord God has commanded thee. 6 days shalt thou labor.
He says what?
6 days thou shalt labor.
Yeah, meaning you're not just sitting there doing nothing during the week. You're getting up and you're doing something for the Lord. You're doing something to help progress. You're doing labor. God did labor when he created everything and commanded for everything to be created and gave orders, and those orders were completed. He put in work. 6 days, quote unquote, days unto the Lord. And on the 7th day, he had rest. He created you to be the same way, for you to put in work for 6 days. And then on the 7th day, that'd be a day of rest. That'd be the day where you could actually, kick back maybe a little bit. Unless there's other things to do, unless there's a hell that needs to be climbed out of, unless there's a captivity that needs to be escaped from, then there's even more work to do. But there's a time for us that we'll be able to do these things. In a time of dire need of heroes and righteous men, there's always more work that needs to be done. And so the work doesn't stop. Not until Christ comes back, not until we're in our inheritance. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath unto the Lord thy God, and in it shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thou stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou.
You see that? And there's even mercy that's passed down. See, when we're in leadership, when we're the ones that are in rule, we don't take all the benefits completely to ourselves and not follow what God said. If he says something like this that pertains to our servants, that pertains to the people that are under us, that will also get fulfilled, because that is law. You understand what I'm saying? Righteous leadership means that gets passed down. All of the benefits get passed down from top to the bottom as the law instructs. Go ahead.
And remember thou wast a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee out through the mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day.
You know what's so heavy about that? God's telling us to show mercy on the Sabbath day to our servants, even after we had been servants unto other nations, meaning that the natural grudge that people will hold from the time that they're being oppressed, we're not supposed to take that oppression and then pass it back to those that oppressed us unless the Lord gives us an instruction to do so. Unless he tells us to destroy them completely and wipe them and obliterate them from the earth. But what he's telling us right now is so heavy because it puts you in the mentality of humility, given that we were slaves in Egypt, just like how we are here in America, having to clock in to work at 9 to 5, having to work 50, 60 hours in a week. You understand what I'm saying? And they work us to the bone. Like they don't even give us a day off if we don't fight for it. You know what I'm saying? If it be their way, they make us work 8 days a week. They'll add a day for the week and then make you work that day because they need their money. They need you to produce for them. That's what they care about. We don't prioritize that. We prioritize what God says. Go ahead.
Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God has commanded thee, and that thy days may prolong. And that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thou giveth thee.
And this is so heavy too, because even from the time of your youth, you start to create a certain habit within your life that determines whether or not your life is going to be prolonged or not. And one of those things that you can see is the way that you treat your parents. Do you follow their instructions? Do you follow their orders? Because the only way for those curses that are being passed down from the third and fourth generation can ever be lifted is if you do what your parents tell you to do in hopes that when you were here before, that you told them and their ancestors what to do in a way that gets passed back down to you and benefits you. Right. That's what you would hope for. We just have to deal with the added challenge of having gone through Christianity and Catholicism, all these false ideologies and theologies, all these ways that have been used to pervert our faith and to destroy us. But now we have to understand that even in a time where we have to awaken and possibly even clash heads with our own family, our own loved ones, we may not agree and see eye to eye on everything, that you still honor them by keeping God's laws. That's the true honor right there. That's what shows the Most High that you're locked in to what pleases the Heavenly Father. So you show your parents, yeah, you know what? Nah, I don't want that sausage. No, I'm good. Why not? Well, you always ate the sausage growing up. Nah, because Leviticus 11 is reminding me that we should probably step away from that. Right. They'll argue about it, but then when your family members got high blood pressure and diabetes and all these other things, they'll be more they'll be more humbled by the Lord to want to listen to God's laws. That's perfectly fine. We all get judged by the Lord for the way that we lived in the time of our youth. We have to learn what the repercussions are. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way, but it is ultimately that we learn and actually change. That's what matters most, because we would prefer to not have to deal with the mistakes, but because we're so stubborn and stiff-necked and rebellious, we're constantly making those mistakes. It doesn't have to be that way. Was there any more on that? A little bit more.
And that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord giveth thee.
And the land which the Most High gives us. And that's where we're trying to return to. We're trying to get back to our land. With that, Amajim. Go ahead. Second reader, state your registry.
Taziar Bansapalawan Banya Sa'ala. Yahweh Bashem Yahshabrakata.
He was in verse 17.
5:17.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 17. La'ah.
Torah, Tazat.
Torah Tazat. Verse 18. Wa'ala. Tana'ah. Verse 19. Wa'ala. The Nab. Verse 20. Wa'ala. The I Nacha. Ba'ara. Ikea. Aida. Shawon. Verse 21. Wa'ala. The Kiamat. Ashat. Ra'aika. Wa'ala. The Wacha. Ba'aitha. Rakia. Sha'dachawa. Wa'ai. Bawam. Matawam. Sha'waraw. Waha Marawa. Wakal Ashar. La Ikia. Laraka. Verse 22. Ata. Hada. Barayam. Allah. Da'abar. Yahkawa. Al-Ka. Qualcomm. Bakar. Matawak. Haisha. Ha'ai. Nawa. Waka'ai. Rapa. Kawa. Gadawa. Wa'ala. Yes. Isupk. What I Baidam I love. Okay. I love Shana La Khata Abanayam wa I Tatnayam I love. Verse 23. Wahaya Kasha Ma I come Ata Hakwa Matawak Hakyasha Wahar Ba'ayar Ba'ash Wata Rabanyawa Ila Ka Rayasha Shata Kayam Waza was a Kwa Nayakam. English?
Yeah. That was 23.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and go back to the English.
Um,
He was in
17, right?
Con.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 17. Thou shalt not kill.
That's obvious, right? See, one of the biggest things about people saying that the Old Testament is done away with is, well, what if you really were trying to say that, then that would mean that there would be a lawlessness in the land, that people would be able to go out and murder each other, which doesn't make any sense, right? So what they'll do is they'll pick and choose aspects that keep a society together while keeping their own culture intact in ways that benefit them and only them. Because even times where, you know, it's crazy too, even times where they're the ones that commit these acts, they try to find every reason to let them go. But when our people make mistakes, God is ensuring that you get paid, that you pay dearly for it. You understand? And that happens in more ways than one. You know, the scripture says, he that sheddeth man's blood, by man's hand shall his blood be shed. Which is so crazy, because it's like, the scripture truly comes into fruition where it says, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. People that live a lifestyle that revolves around death tend to find it for themselves too. Most High says, thou shalt not kill, not to be a murderer. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Neither shalt thou commit adultery.
Neither shalt thou commit adultery. And adultery comes in the form of a woman sleeping with somebody that's not her husband, or a man sleeping with another man's wife. Those are forms of adultery. You understand? The Most High says not to do that. But you see that all throughout San Antonio and, well, the whole planet at this point. That it's so chaotic now. This is what happens when people say that Christ is God. That's the result. Because now everybody believes that they can't be good, that they can't keep God's laws, because they assume that somebody that actually was able to keep them was something that we cannot be. And that's not fair for y'all. That's not fair for y'all to see that as an unattainable example. That's what the Christian church gave you. They gave you an excuse to sin. They gave you an excuse to be a failure. Christianity and Catholicism is the religion of laziness, of idleness, of ignorance. And so you see death and adultery all throughout our communities right now, because what's the source of it? It is the Christian church. It is the Roman Catholic Church. It is the powers that be that set these things up to systematically keep our people deaf, dumb, and blind to the repercussions for the way that we live our lives, so that they could then take what they say. Well, it's my bad. They take what we do and they make memes of it. They laugh at us, at our calamity. Can you believe that? They set us up for failure and then laugh when we fail. That's what's going on right now. That's the state of affairs for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it's a sad state of affairs. But it don't need to be like that, because these laws were written here so that you could understand that you don't have to live like that. You don't. But it requires you to read more, and then do more, and then read more laws, and then follow more of those laws. That's why it starts with something as simple as not shaving your beard completely, and everybody thinks that you're crazy. And then you not eating pork, and everybody thinks you're crazy. And then you celebrating the high holy days, and everybody thinks that you're crazy. Really, you know what's actually happening? You're realizing that the whole world is crazy and that God actually wants you to do that. He wants you to keep his laws. The rest of the world, they're not going to do it. But will you do it? That's the question. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Neither shalt thou steal. Verse 20. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Keep going.
Verse 21. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife.
Read that again.
Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife.
Yes, and you have to fight that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, what will happen is the thoughts will come in. But you remembering these laws will combat those thoughts and bring them into the obedience of Christ. That's what Christ was talking about when he said that he that desireth another, have lust after the woman has already committed sin in his heart. He's telling you that because he wants you to nip it right at the thought of it. Not that the thought itself is the sin, but the desire that leads to the action of adultery, the desire that leads to you breaking God's laws and disrespecting your brother, There are fake Israelite groups that fell apart because this law was not being followed correctly. That failed in this city because this law wasn't followed correctly. So God had to destroy it completely and bring the true school back to the city. I pray you understand. Go ahead.
Neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's.
Go ahead.
Verse 22. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice. And he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tables of stone and delivered them unto me.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. And it came to pass, when you heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, that ye came near unto me, even all the heads of your tribes and your elders.
And again, he's doing a recap. Moses is doing a recap of what we just read in the previous chapters, previous books, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. You understand? It's important to recap those things, to remind ourselves of what it is that we had to go through in the time of the wilderness in reorganizing an entire nation of people. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of falling in line and understanding the righteous order of things, understanding that the rank and order structure of Israel is to be respected. It's not to be coerced. It's not to be avoided. It's there to be embraced. It's there to be embraced, not for you to assume that you have some kind of status because you learn a couple breakdowns. You want to come up with your own group. See groups come up and fall all the time. And the Most High showed us in a time where he had a physical presence there with us. We would consider that to be a miracle today. We would consider that to be a spiritual presence, a pillar of fire by night, a cloud by day, to walk with us and to be there next to us in a time to ensure us that this was actually the factual way to live, the right way to go about it, and to believe in it because it was there for us to see. Because our people are always seeking a sign and a wonder. We're always constantly looking for proof. And how much more powerful is it for you to live off of faith and these words and knowing that it was true when it happened? We're not just reading this just for the sake of it, not for the story of it. It's because it happened. And we need it to be in your mind that you know that this is true, that these things happened. Whether you see a chariot in the sky or whether you've never seen one. Whether you've experienced any kind of presence of the Lord or not. Who are we to believe that we deserve any kind of presence from the Lord after the way that we've lived in lifetimes of failure, lifetimes of mediocrity? We have to earn the chance to see that. We have to earn the chance to see the inheritance that was given to us from the beginning, because we fell so far away from it and divided ourselves from our brothers for so long. But in order to reverse all that, we have to reverse the division amongst ourselves. We have to reverse the clicking up amongst ourselves. We have to completely purge ourselves of all the schisms that take place amongst our nations, amongst our tribes. We can't let language be a barrier anymore. We can't let anything be an excuse for us to not love each other anymore. Go ahead.
To the Hebrew?
Yeah, was that verse 23?
Come on, sir.
All right, go back to the Hebrew.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 24. Watha Marawa Hawa Hara Nawa Yakawa Allah Allahayim Ata Kabadawa Wa Ata Garalawa Wa Ata Kwalawa Shema Ainawa Matawat Khasha Hayawam Kaaza Ra'ai Nayawa Kaya Idbar Alakayim Atha Ha'adam Wahaya. Verse 25. Wa'ata la'ama na'amat ka'aya ta la nawab ha'asha chaga da lachav chata aima I shapayam ana 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 ha nawab lasha ma'ai aita kawab Yahweh Elohim awad wa the nawa. Verse 26. Kaya maya call ba'ashar ashar shama'ai kawal alakayim ha'ayam ma'adabar mathawak ha'asha ka ma nawa wa I kaya. Verse 27. Kwa arab ata wa sha ma'ai aita ka ashar yamar Yahweh Elohim wa ata the the bar ala I nawa ata ka ashar Yahdabar Yahweh Elohim ala alakia washa sa ainawa wa I sha'ai nawa. Verse 28. Wa yasha ma'ai Yahweh ata kwa da ba ra yakam ba da barakam I like ya Wayamor Yahweh I sha ma aithya aitha kawa da baraya I am kazaha ashar da barawa alakwaya ha I ta I bawam kawa ashar the barawa. Verse 29. Maya ayatam wa ha iwa la bawam sorry la babam zaha lakam la I raha ataya wa la sha mara aita ka matazo wa taya ka hayam lama ayawa ya yaba lakam wa laba la waba na I ham la I lum. Verse 30. Lak more la kam sha uh shaba wam la kam la la kayum. Verse 31,
No, back to English.
23, right?
24.
Okay.
Tell them where you're at.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 24. And you said, behold, the Lord our God has shewed us his glory and his greatness.
There's the proof that God exists because it's in these words. You understand what I'm saying? That's the kind of faith you need to have. Go ahead.
Okay. And we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen this day that God doth talk with men, and he liveth.
That's absolutely true. He deals with man. He exists. That's what his name means. That's why he says he is. That's what the Most High is. And so the fact is that the mediator of the time was Moses, right? The Most High worked with Moses, and that's why Moses had his face that was so shiny because he was in the presence of the Lord. So we had proofs of these things back then. And right now, we're so, like I said, we're so far from our culture, so far from our heritage, we couldn't even begin to expect that God would show glory like that in a time when we're still trying to recover from our ignorance, we're still trying to come back to our laws. Most of our people don't keep the Sabbath. Most of our people don't keep the high holy days. But there is a small sanctuary of those that are. And they might just someday have the chance to see the glory of the Lord visually in the reality that we're in right now. But the thing is, right now you have to have that faith. You have to see these words and understand that these things are true. They're absolutely true. Just like how the rest of the Bible is so true. Every consequence we have to deal with, all the laws that we know that benefit us and bring God's mercy to us. We have to remember all of that. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 25. Now, therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of the Lord our God anymore, then we shall die.
Does that make sense? Do you understand that? That the strength of the Most High's presence is enough to kill you, to destroy you. Just the voice of the Most High. So we wouldn't be able to handle his presence right now. You would have to be mentally prepared for that. And it's not something that can be learned overnight. That's what you have to understand. Israel seeking a sign and a wonder, wanting to see the glory of the Lord. Otherwise, you don't want to keep his laws. That's the problem. The problem is you wouldn't be able to handle it if you saw it. You wouldn't be able to remain alive if his presence was here. And the problem is that because you don't see the proof, then you think that you don't have to keep his laws, and you're not even obedient to what his word says. So how could you even begin? How could you even begin to take back your land? How could you begin to get blessed from him if it doesn't start with your faith? It has to. Isn't that what it did with Abraham?
Right.
For he was the father of faith. He was the one that believed in one true God in a time where everybody around him believed in a triune God or other gods and polytheism. He believed in God, and he never even experienced him face to face until it was rewarded to him. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to do the same thing. We all have to do the same thing. Go ahead.
Verse 26. For who is there of all flesh that hath heard the voice of the living God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as we have and lived?
And that's such a heavy scripture because that's even talking about right now. Who?
Right.
Other than them? Not us. It has to have just been them. They were the ones that got to see it. Go ahead.
Verse 27. Go down near and hear.
What verse you start at? Oh, my bad. Go ahead. You're good.
Okay.
Keep going.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 27. Go down near and hear all the Lord our God shall say, and speak thou unto us all that the Lord our God shall speak unto thee, and we will hear it and do it.
Right, because now we have that mediator who's going to take the grunt of that force, be able to actually hear the word and maintain it, and then pass it down to us. That's you know what that is? That's establishing the role of a leader amongst Israel, a prophet amongst Israel, a rank and order structure amongst the children of Israel. The righteous order. That's why the Most High says for a man to keep his head uncovered and for a woman to cover her head, because it is to maintain that righteous order. from God to Christ, who is our mediator, right? It was Moses in this time. It's Christ in our era. And then it's man. And then it's woman. You understand what I'm saying? So that order has been kept. This has been the same thing from the very jump. None of that has changed. So don't let these other nations distract you from the fact that that is the way rank and order is supposed to work. It's there because it is biblically sound, it's biblically correct, and it's for your protection.
Right.
Because if it wasn't there, you would probably die from being in the presence of the Lord. If the scriptures is true and you believe the scriptures, we just read it, that just being in his presence would kill us. That's why he had somebody that was there to receive the word to pass down to us. You understand? Go ahead.
Okay, verse 28. And the Lord heard the voice of your words when ye spake unto me. And the Lord said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto thee. They have well said all that they have spoken. Verse 29. Oh, that there were such an heart in them, that they would fear me and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever.
This would be great. It says, oh, that there were such an heart in them that they would fear me and keep all my commandments, that it might be well with them and with their children forever. This is what the kingdom of heaven looks like. The kingdom of heaven looks like a righteous nation of people whose children are coming up to grow up and be righteous, just like the way they were, and to be obedient and honorable to their parents, just like the way you were obedient and honorable to your parents. And so, again, reversing those curses begins with you making the decisions to be the leader of your bloodline and changing the outcome of your entire lineage. And that's such an honorable thing. When you understand the gravity of that, then life becomes that much more purposeful. Then your hardships become that much more of an honorable fire to burden. Then your accomplishments become that much more of a victory and success, because the Lord is constantly showing you that this is all working towards something greater than ourselves.
Right.
Go ahead and read verse 30.
Verse 30. Go say to them, get you into your tents again.
Let's read a little bit more on that. Go ahead and go back to the Hebrew. Go ahead and just read 14 verses. That should get us to verse 11 of chapter 6. And that'll be the rest for today. So you're going to read the rest of this chapter and then read 11 verses of the next chapter.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 31. Wa atha fa imad imadaya wa da baram alaqwa ata kha kamatza wa wakha kwa yum wakha masha patayum ashar the la ma'dayum wa I shawam ba'aratza ashar anakia Nathan Lacham La Rasha Tha. Verse 32. Washa Ma Watam La I Shawat Ka Kashar Tzawa Yakawa Alakiam Alakayakum Takam La'am Taza Rawa Ya Mayum Wa Washa Ma. Verse 33. Bakal da Rakwa Ashar Taza Wakam Yahweh Allah Hayam Atakam Ta La Kwawa La Ma Iwan the Ka I Yawam wa Tawab La Kam Waka Da Kam I Ma I'm Ba'aratiza Ashar to I Rasha to I Rasha Sawam verse Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 1 wa azad mataza wa kha kwa kayam wa ma sha patayam ashar tazawwa Yahweh alakaim lalamai atakyam la I shawat ba'aratiza ashar atam ab arayam sha makha la rasha takha verse 2 la ma I want to I ra ata Yahweh alakayam la sha'amar ata call hakwat the one wa matza what the I want ashab anakia anakia matza wa I thought wa bankia bun bankia ka ya I my I kai I kia wa ma I want I no I rakwam yamka verse 3 wa sha ma aitha ya sha'ala wa sha marata la I sha wata I shar I twa la kwa wa shar daraba one ma'aida ka ashar da abar Yahweh Alahim abat kya laka aratza sa abad Allah wa'ada shab verse 4 Shama Yasha Allah Yahweh Alakaya Yahweh Akia verse 5 wa
It's like it's sir. That's 7.
You just guys go to 11.
Colonel Council.
wa khabab ata Yahweh alakayim wa kal la baka wa bakal na pashak wa bakal ma dak. Verse 6. Wa ha iwa ha da ba arayim ha hala ashar anakia matzaza waka I no ka I yawam I la ba no la ba bakwa. Verse 7. What sha na natam la banakia wada ba arat ba sha ba kwa ba I the kwa wa ba la ka ta ba ada rak wa ba sha ba kwa wa ba kwa makia. Verse 8. Wa kwa sha ratam la hawat I la I the kwa wa ka I wa la the path ba anyam ana I ya kia. Verse 9. Wa kwa the wa thumb I la ma za sata ba IKEA wa ba sha I rakia. Verse 10. Wa hayaka ka ayam I ba I kia hawa alakia I la ha'aratiza ashar na sha I la ba the kia la aram la I tizakia wa la I yaquab I thought ka I ram kwa la wa tabat ashar la but na Aitha. Verse 11. Batayam malayam call the awa ashar la ma'lat wa ba'arat kia tazab ba'ayam ashar la hatazabat karamayim wa za I the ayam ashar la na ta I the wa ka what no wa ka the wa sha ba Aitha.
Is that verse 11?
That was verse 11, sir.
All right, go ahead and go back to the English. You was in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 31. Go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, verse 31. But as for thee, stand thou here by me, and I will speak unto thee all the commandments and the statutes and the judgments, which thou shalt teach them, and they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. Verse 32. Ye shall observe to do therefore as the Lord your God hath commanded you. Ye shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left.
Right, meaning you're not supposed to deviate from the path the Most High set us. Don't deviate from Sabbath. Don't deviate from, any of these laws. Not supposed to turn away from those things. That applies to today as well. None of that has changed. God says in Malachi chapter 3, verse 6, for I am the Lord, I change not.
Right.
You understand? Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Because the thing is, if God did change, we would be consumed. But that's not the case. God wanted us to keep his laws then. He wants us to keep them now. Christ wants us to keep the laws now. Christ did not do away with the law. He gave us an example of how to follow it in this fleshly form that is susceptible to sin. But that doesn't mean that we have to give into it. So he had to be the one that, again, set the tone for us to follow. Keep going.
Verse 33. Ye shall walk in all the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you, that ye may live, and that it may be well with you, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess.
Because the Most High shows mercy to those that keep his law, statutes, and commandments, and may prolong their life, and for the life to be more abundant. You understand? Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 1. Now, these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that you might do them in the land whither you go to possess it. Verse 2, that thou mightest fear of the Lord thy God, to keep all the statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged.
Keep going.
Verse 3, hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy father hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey.
Absolutely. Read on.
Verse 4, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Read that again.
Verse 4, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
No, I thought it was supposed to be a triune God. I thought it was 3-in-1 combo, like the body wash you buy from Walmart.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Is one Lord. One. That's why the Most High says there is none beside me at his level. Keep going.
Verse 5, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thine soul, and with all thy might.
Keep going.
Verse 6, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Verse 7, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house,
Keep going.
and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Now, there's something you have to understand about this. When it says, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, understand this. Don't hold a grudge against your parents for not diligently showing you the laws, because it was not their fault that they didn't know. They come from generations that had been lied to.
Right.
So true honoring of your mother and father is knowing that because they're in the time of their ignorance, God's winking at that time of ignorance and the time where you've also been led astray. That's why it's so much more important for you to set that example for your family, because real love is the keeping of God's laws. That's what the scripture tells you in the New Testament. For this is love, that we walk after his commandments. And that's exactly what the law is there to give us. It's there to guide us into being actually the kind of people that can treat each other the right way, that can show each other a better way. And that's why the Most High is telling us to diligently teach it to thy children. And the thing is, it all begins with us learning it and then teaching it here in these classes. And then the not everybody's just going to be susceptible to it right from the jump. But the fact that you're locked into it, that your mind is made up, and you know that this is what you got to do, that's a start. And sometimes like Christ even said, they that do the will of the Father, they are my brother and my sister. They are my family. And so we have to understand that the family that God is putting together may not look exactly like the way that we expect it to, but know that the end result is that our entire bloodline, our entire lineage in the nation has the chance to come back to this, to those that are going to be awakened. And not everybody awakens at the same time with the same zeal, but there may be a time where they can allow their mind to open up to the truth. So it doesn't mean to give up on them yet. Though the scripture does say that the Most High Christ came to put a man at variance against his father, and a son-in-law or a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And so we know that there's going to be clash of heads in the household, clashes of doctrines, clashes of religious things. But that doesn't mean that you're supposed to give in just because you were raised by them. It doesn't mean that if it goes against God's laws that it's okay for you to follow what they taught you. Because when the one thing that you have to be absolutely obedient to and loyal to is your real culture. And you know what it is now. We are embracing it now. There's no denying it. The rest of the world may laugh at it. They may not understand it. But that doesn't make it any less true. Go ahead.
Verse 8, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Now, you know what that's like? That is like a mark. You see that? Because that is a sign upon thine hand and frontlets between thine eyes. That is literally marking the things that you do with your hands and the way that you think. Now, it goes right along with Revelation. That goes right along with what you see all throughout the Bible where it refers to the mark of the Lord. And setting apart among them that sigh and cry for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. This is where you see it in the Old Testament. You see it in the law. It becomes a sign upon your hands because you know what the sign is? Your works. The works that you do. The community outreaches. The interviews with brothers and sisters that we've never met before, that we're talking to face and building with and saying pleasant things to each other with. Saying things that mean something. Most High sees the effort that you put in when something as simple as just feeding the homeless, clothing them. Those are signs upon your hand. You being completely committed to the truth is like a frontlet between your eyes because it's not removable. It's there forever. It's like a stain, but in a good way. It's what makes you, what gives you your character. And it's there to remind you that even in times where you run into challenges, remember your victories as well, because those victories are also remembered. And what you learn to do over time is you start to collect more and more victories. You'll start to completely forget about your mishaps. You'll begin to completely overlook the mistakes of the past because that's exactly what they'll be. They'll be in the past. And you'll be able to move forward with more victory and more victory abundantly. Read on.
Verse 9. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. Verse 10. And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not.
Keep going.
Verse 11. And houses full of all good things, which thou fillest not, and well dig, which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full.
There's going to be more to this. We're going to pick up back on this in the next Sabbath service. With that, Amadium. Blow the horn. La Yasrael.
La Yasrael.
Yasharal.
Sar, upon Hakwadam, which means turn and face east. We're going to recite the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa,
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash,
Kodash.
Hayah,
Hayah.
Shemka,
Shemka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Malakwaka,
Malakwaka.
Taba'ah,
Taba'ah.
Watazaka,
Watazaka.
Hayah,
Hayah.
Aisha,
Aisha.
Barataza,
Barataza.
Kawa,
Kawa.
Hayah,
Hayah.
Bashamayim,
Bashamayim.
Natan Lanawa,
Nathan Lanawa.
Lacham,
Lacham.
Kal,
Kal.
Yawam,
Yawam.
Wasalak Nawa,
Wasalak Lanawa.
Kabwat Nawa,
Kabawath Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa,
Kasalak Nawa.
Kabwat Yanawa,
Kabawathi Nawa.
Wala'a,
Wala'ah.
Taba'aya Nawa,
Tabi'ai Nawa.
Banasayawan,
Manasayawan.
Abal,
Abal.
Hawashai Nawa,
Hawashai Nawa.
Mayan,
Mayan.
Rai,
Rai.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Laka,
Laka.
Hamalakwa,
Hamalakwa.
Wahala,
Wahala.
Wahata Parat,
Wataparath.
La'awalamium,
Lawalamium.
Aman.
Aman. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come.
kingdom come,
Thy will be
thy
done
will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily
our
bread,
daily bread.
and forgive us our debts
Forgive us our debts
as we forgive our
as we
debtors.
forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into
into
temptation,
temptation,
but deliver
but
us
deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom,
thine is the kingdom
and the power,
and the power
and the
and
glory
the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
That's just the Lord's Prayer. Right? All right, with that, Sar, go ahead and blow the horn one more time. All right, at this time, we're going to salute the scroll. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brak, yeah.
Yahweh Bashim Yahshua.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brak, yeah. This stuff is from bar afterwards.
Yahweh Bashim Yahshua.
Yahweh Bashim Yahshua.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brak, yeah. All right. All right, sisters, you may have a seat. At this time, we're going to give the brothers one courtesy salute.
Salakia.
So-
Can I get anointed?
After.
Come on, Contra.
Oh, we do that. No. Individual, I'm on Shabbat. No, wait. It's like, oh, he's supposed to set it down?
He ain't supposed to sit there.
He was already about to do that. All right. Individual, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmadjum, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatuh, Yahya Matah. Sorry, turn and face the sisters for one courtesy salute. Sisters, go ahead and stand. Individual, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmadjum, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Yahya Matah. Dismiss.